Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name's Brad and I work in the hospitality industry. I use simple tools such as items purchased at the dollar store to create my budget, which is based on my paydays, which happens every 2 weeks. I also use a digital envelope system through Qube Money, but you can easily replicate what I do with physical envelopes or wallets or other digital products such as Google Sheets or Excel. This channel's theme is Proverbs 3 verses 5 and 6, which says, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart and do not lean on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge Him and He will make straight your paths." In today's video, we will look at the bills that were automatically paid through Qube for the end of May, and then we'll look at my first paycheck for the beginning of June and divvy it out. We'll also look at some savings challenges and the sinking funds that I've decided to use for this particular pay period. Alright, the first thing that I want to look at is the bills that were recorded from my last pay period, and the highlighted bills were the ones that were actually paid through the Qube app, and then I went and calculated the end balance and made sure that all of the end balances on my sheet matched up with what the end balance says in the Qube app, and they do. So we are all set to start the next period's budget. And so I started out with just some blank numbers here. I started with the income and expenses and savings that exist in my brick-and-mortar bank, and then the income and expenses, savings and bills and tithes and offerings, all of that exists over in the Qube app. So as you can see, I had a rollover of $94.02 in the brick and mortar, and then I did have some wages and overtime that went over my normal wages and overtime that I put into the Qube app of $11.25. So I added the extra into my wages and overtime in the brick and mortar bank. I only took out $30 cash this time around, and then I do like to have $100 in rollover, so calculated that out, and then I was able to use the transfer money over into part of my income for the Qube app. And so in the Qube app, between my wages, overtime, and the transfer money from the brick and mortar bank, I had $1,255 to allocate. And so I took the tithes and offerings off the top there. The bills I have automatically allocated, and they are going to be $644 this time around. And then the expenses, the ones that I automatically have allocated are always groceries, fast food and dining, and gas. And since I had a little extra money this time around because of overtime, I added $30 to household, and I also added a $20 buffer because I like to have a little extra buffer in that expenses area. Then I took a look at my savings, and to get those numbers, I was able to play the different challenges and games that I have available for my savings. And I started out here by taking my acrylic drawer and picking out the next number that was in there, and it was 2 plus 49. So 49 plus 2 is $51, and so this is the 51 envelope challenge, which I have physical envelopes that I'm keeping in my savings challenge envelope, and one of those, and I have old slips from previous weeks. So I'm going to just add that $2.49 to the big envelope, and then in the 50 envelope I have a tracker, and just going to highlight $2.49, and so that will take care of the 51 envelopes challenge. And then the next challenge that I have for the savings challenges is going to be the 12 by 26 challenge. So every paycheck, I get 26 paychecks in a year, and every time I get a paycheck, I'm putting $12 in there. So I added that to my tracker. And then finally, it's the dice challenge. So I emptied out my little acrylic drawer, and I threw the dice 2 times to see how much I was going to save. First time came to a 10, and then when I rolled the dice a second time, then it came to a 7. So 10 plus 7 is $17, and that helps me to get those final numbers in my savings challenges. Then I was able to do the math. At the end of my math, I like to keep at least $80 in the sinking funds. This time around, I was able to put more than $80 in the sinking funds. I was able to put $91.57. So the next thing I want to look at is those sinking funds. And a lot of these funds are allocated automatically through Qube. The ones that I have going automatically every single paycheck are the ones that are listed under the dated bills, which includes my Qube fees, Norton antivirus program that I pay for, car registration, Bluehost, which is a annual bill that I have, and the tax preparation. So that adds up to $35. And then my variable spending, I have prescriptions. I put $30 every paycheck, and then haircut $5. So that's $35. And then transportation, I always put $10 away for oil changes and lube. And then, so that adds up to $80. And then my one category that is not automatically allocated would be the car maintenance. So the remainder of that $91.57 goes into the car maintenance. So that was $11.57. And so that brings me to a zero-based budget at the end there. Going back to the bills that I had in my budget, I did break down all the bills for this coming pay period as well, using my trusty calendar. And I ended up writing out all the bills to the end of the month, and then I realized that I had gone too far because I get paid another time before the end of the month. So I crossed out Avera, Straight Talk, and Best Life. But the payday matches up right around the same time that Avera and Straight Talk are due. And so I decided to just make sure that those categories have a balance enough to pay the bill just in case it comes out of the bank a day earlier than I think it's supposed to come out. So I looked, and I was about $1 short for Avera, and I was about $2 short for Straight Talk. But I had 2 months where I had overpaid for Best Life, and so my beginning balance is a lot more than I really need it to be in Best Life. So I took $3 out of Best Life, and I transferred it over to Avera and Straight Talk. And so now I know that even if these bills get paid from the Qube app before the dates that I think they're supposed to get paid, I'll have the money in order to pay those, so it's not going to come back as a failure or anything like that. So that is all done for the bills as well. And then I also wanted to take some time and go over, now that we know how much money is going into the savings challenges, then putting that money into those cubes, and also the money that goes into the cubes that are not allocated, such as the sinking funds. What else did I have that wasn't allocated? Household items. And then the last thing would be the buffer. So those things need to go into the cube. So I use my Qube app on my computer, but you can use it on your phone too. For the next video, probably next week at this time, I'll be posting a little bit of information on how to calculate compound interest, which is fascinating because it's amazing how if you just add a little bit to regular payments, to a loan or like a car loan or a credit card payment or whatever, how fast that it helps you in the long run because of compounding interest. So stay tuned for that. And then the week after that, I'll have another video for my next pay period. So if you've made it this far through the video, thank you so much for watching. If this is the type of content that you like and appreciate seeing online, please give a like and comment below. If you would like to see further videos of this type, consider subscribing to the channel and hit the notification button so you won't miss further videos. Thanks for watching, and God bless. Goodbye.